The Nintendo Switch sucks, man. This is what I think about your baby-ass console. I want to destroy all the Switches in the world! Just kidding. I like the Nintendo Switch a lot, but man, isn't it missing a lot of basic features, as well as having some other little problems that prevent it from being my favorite system. I just want to go over some of the biggest problems with the damn thing. If these were addressed, I think it would genuinely be my favorite console of all time. I'll talk about the ones that bother me the least first, then work my way up to the bigger issues. It honestly surprises me the Switch is still missing such basic things this late in its life. At first, I thought these were like complete shoo-ins that they would happen eventually, but with each passing year, it just feels like less and less likely that it's gonna happen. Why is there no internet browser yet? I'll set the scene for you. You're playing Super Mario Odyssey and have been going after this one damn moon for about 30 minutes. You eventually say, screw this, I'm gonna Google this, and realize that your phone is in another room. First world problem, I know, but it really isn't unreasonable to think that you should be able to just hit the home button and access a web browser. The DSi had one, the 3DS had one, the Wii U had one, hell, even the Wii had one. Two other basic things are the themes and folders. I liked booting up my 3DS and getting my Pikmin 3 theme. I also had a Pokemon Silver theme that took me right back to my childhood. The Switch just seems so bare in comparison. Even though the Wii and Wii U didn't have themes, they had cute little channel systems where like every app was on a different TV screen. Without a cute theme or hell, even music like the Wii and Wii U, it almost doesn't feel like a Nintendo console. It is snappy and it works like you would like it to, but I would personally sacrifice at least a little bit of speed for some personality. Not having folders is downright embarrassing at this point, as again, plenty of older consoles have had this. I like to collect physical copies of games, get the My Nintendo Gold points, and then put them back on my shelf to be played eventually. As a result, my Switch is just loaded with game icons. The fact that I can't create a folder and label it backlog or Wii U ports is just incredibly stupid. I may have rambled about these like basic things like for far too long probably, but it just seems like these would be the easiest fixes by far. The next thing is that the online service just sucks. I play online on my Xbox Series X and PC and they run so much smoother. I know my internet blows pretty hard, but there is absolutely no reason why I shouldn't lag out of a 2-hour Blackout Zombies game while it being a damn chore to just play one single Super Smash Bros. Ultimate online match. I played Mario Golf with my friend recently, and that lagged to hell and back. Yeah, people will scream to the moon, it's cheaper than Xbox Live and PlayStation Network, but do you want to know what's way cheaper and works much better than Nintendo Online? Steam. I would personally pay more for it to not be dog water, but the fact that Steam works so much better and it doesn't have any extra cost is just sad to me. I think the fact that it's cheaper than PlayStation Network or Xbox Live isn't a good enough reason for Nintendo Switch Online to be so horrible. Next in line is transferring software and how Nintendo handles digital content in just general. The Switch Lite somewhat intrigues me with its overall small form factor and neat directional pad. Since I like to waste money, part of me wanted to buy a Switch Lite to take with me everywhere and leave the dock Switch at home for games like Smash and Mario Party. I was able to get my hands on an Xbox Series X recently, and transferring everything from my Xbox One X to it was just so simple. All my digital games show up, and even ones like Crash Bandicoot and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order were automatically upgraded to their next-gen counterparts. Not just that, all of my save files were carried over. My completed Banjo-Kazooie saves were there. For example, my brother and I altered NHL lineups in NHL 21. Those carried over as well. It's just not that easy with the Switch. The cloud saves don't work for some of their biggest games, like any mainline Pokemon game, Splatoon 2, and Animal Crossing. You also need to sign into the internet frequently to make sure everything works well, and it just gets to be a hassle in my opinion. I think it's just pathetic that Xbox does a better job transferring save files and games cross generations than Nintendo does with the same system in the same generation. The JoyCons blow ass, and they deserve to be put on full blast here. I'm placing JoyCons at number 2 for this one simple fact. I have 4 pairs of these damn things, and there is at least one thing wrong with each pair. My launch-grade JoyCons won't stay on the console during handheld play. My piss yellow ones do not register button presses. This makes them basically useless for games like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. My Animal Crossing mint blue JoyCon constantly has a low battery warning, even if it survives for hours. Lastly, my neon pink and green JoyCons, or Cosmo and Wando as I like to call them, drift. I've given these things a chance, 4 of them to be exact. I try to be very careful with this shit too, as it ain't cheap. I've seen plenty of people complain about these things online, and they're just horrible. I think they're the worst mainline controller, full stop. Okay, maybe besides the Duke, that thing was dumb. But honestly, my biggest problem with the Switch is how it handles legacy content. It must be a multi-layered issue or something, but the way they have handled legacy content is laughable at best. They only have NES and SNES games right now, and even then, they're missing classics such as Earthbound and Super Mario RPG. This isn't exciting for 2 main reasons. The first one is the fact that these have been released so many times by now, and one of those was on the 3DS. This means that I could play Super Mario World portably feeling is just simply gone for people like me. The other reason is the fact that the NES and SNES Minis both came out. These are probably the best way to play these games if one doesn't want to go around and collecting older hardware. They come with plenty of features, such as multiple save states, a cool rewind feature, and controllers that are very similar to the original's counterpart. That's why Nintendo 64 and GameCube games would be way more exciting. An easier way to play the original 3 Mario parties with my friends? Sign me up! A way to play a childhood classic, the original Super Smash Bros. On a car ride? Yes, please. Maybe one played new Pokemon Snap and they want to see how the original holds up, but maybe they don't want to buy a Nintendo 64 or Wii U for the Virtual Console. Imagine if they went up to GameCube. I would personally pay top dollar for Pikmin, Double Dash, Luigi's Mansion, or Melee on the go. It'd be cool to buy Chibi Robo from Nintendo somehow, and not pay some dude $200 for a used copy on eBay. With the Switch's amazing form factor, I really wanted to go hard on legacy content this gen. It was really cool to play past games on, at the time, new hardware with the Virtual Console service. Man, how I miss that service. On that topic, Nintendo is celebrating, and I put that in heavy quotes, their console history on Switch. But this is a hybrid console after all, right? They like to use that as a selling point. Where are the Game Boy games? What about Game Boy Advance? They got certain Game Boy games running on the 3DS, and certain GBA games could be purchased on the Wii U shop. Being able to play games like the original mainline Pokemon ones, Wario Land 4, Mario and Luigi series, and the Mario Land games would be sick. If their legacy pickings were more robust, the Switch would really feel like the definitive best Nintendo console, at least in my eyes. Access to most of their legacy, both handheld and home consoles, it literally sounds like a dream. At least it's been looking like a dream at this point. So yes, I love my Switch and I have quite the library for it. But it has its flaws. I think the reason why I'm harder on the Switch than most other consoles is that the idea of being portable and being able to throw that game on the TV, it's just so cool and unique. If we're talking conceptually, the idea of the Switch is just so fascinating and exciting. Literally any game that is brought to the Switch is a great reason to exist. It can now be played portably. This makes even old games coming to it, especially if they haven't been playable on a handheld before, super exciting. Like Monster Rancher 1 and 2 Deluxe is coming out in December, and I am beyond hyped for it. It seems a bit late in the Switch's life for all these issues to be fixed, but I hope Nintendo will look into at least some of them. If not, I hope the Switch's successor, whenever and whatever the hell that's gonna be, can fix these annoyances.